This is the reminder move for ATM lesson number 61. Arms in a circle above the head, on the back, with soles of the feet facing each other. So please lie on your back with both of your arms on either side of your body and gently scan yourself for the spaces in which your body lifts away from the floor and where your body presses down into the floor. Now, one of the themes about this particular lesson is the space between the back of your neck and your shoulder blades and the small of your back or the arch in your back. So pay particular attention to how your spine comes into contact with the ground. Now, would you please gently interlace your fingers and place them above your head like a hoop or a halo, and then place the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall towards the outside. And begin sliding your feet up on the floor towards your rear and then away from your rear. Now, as you're sliding your feet up and down, only move as far as you can without letting the soles of your feet separate. So the contact with the soles of your feet and your toes will remain, which makes the movement a lot smaller. You can feel how your ankles have to move in a different way, your knees have to move in a different way. And then begin to come back to neutral and roll your pelvis to the right so that your right knee will come closer to the ground. But as you're rolling your right knee closer to the ground, make sure that your left shoulder and your arms and your hands stay on the floor. Your head doesn't move, your shoulders and your arms stay quiet as your right knee comes down towards the ground and then back up to neutral. And then start to do the same thing with your left. Roll your pelvis to the left so that your left knee comes closer to the ground. And again, you keep your shoulders down on the ground, your arms stay into contact, you don't move your head, it stays quiet, and just very gently take that left knee down to the ground and then back to neutral. And then begin to roll to the right and to the left, keeping your upper body as quiet as you possibly can. To the right and to the left. And then leave this alone, lie on your back and rest. Now, again, interlace your fingers, place them up above your head like a hoop or a halo, put the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall towards the outside, and then begin lifting your arms, your hands, and your elbows from the ground a tiny little bit. So it's not huge, it's just lifting your arms from the ground a little bit and then coming back down. Now, as you lift your arms and hands up away from the ground, see if you can let your body leave the ground at the same rate and then come back down into contact with the ground at the same rate. So if your right and your left elbow touch the ground at different times, it's not the same rate. So you want to make sure, see if you can slow down a little bit so there's no twisting and turning when you lift up and no twisting and turning when you get down. It's not that easy. It just takes a little bit of focus. And now, let your arms come down on either side of your body and slowly begin shifting or sliding your feet to the side and then back. So slide your feet to the left, slide your feet to the right, while keeping your soles in contact with each other, the soles of your feet in contact. And then let your legs come back to neutral and just begin to lift your arms up above and off of the ground. And notice, is it easier? Is it simpler? and then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now come back into that same position, so interlace your fingers up above your head like a hoop or a halo. Place the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall towards the outside. And again, lift your arms and your head from the floor with tiny movements. So just lifting your arms and your head, just a little tiny bit up and a little tiny bit down. Up and then down. Now the next time, lower your arms down towards the ground or keep them on the floor, and then just lift your head, tuck your chin, and roll your head up. And then leave your upper body down on the ground and rest for a moment. And very gently begin to lift your feet and your legs from the ground. Now, as you continue to lift your feet from the ground, notice if your knees are the first thing that begins to lift. And if so, see if you can let your knees be quiet. Let them flop to the outside and see what you have to do, what part of you have to engage in order to lift your feet up off the ground. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now go back to interlacing your fingers, place them up above your head, put the soles of your feet together, allow your knees to fall to the outside, and now begin pressing your arms backwards and into the floor. So before we were lifting at the same rate, see if now you can press your arms and your elbows backwards into the ground at the same rate. Now as you press your arms backwards, begin to very easily and slightly lift your feet and your legs from the floor. It's easier. So as you press your arms and your hands backwards, lift your feet, and then come back down. So now leave your legs alone and just press your arms backwards into the floor and lift your head. Arms go backwards, lift your head forwards. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now go back to interlacing your fingers, place them up above your head like a hoop or a halo. Soles of your feet go together, knees fall towards the outside, and just begin lifting your arms and your head from the floor. Is that easier and simpler? Is your breath easier to control? Fuller, easier exhale, softer ribs, softer chest, softer shoulders. And then using tiny movements, begin to lift your feet and your legs from the ground. And then just lift your arms and your legs. And then as you lift your legs, press your arms backwards. And as you lift your legs, press your arms backwards and lift your head. And as you lift your arms, your head, and your feet up in the air, gently and softly, and let that come back to neutral. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now go back to interlacing your fingers, place them up above your head like a hoop or a halo. Put the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall towards the outside. and then just lift your arms and your head from the floor with tiny movements. Is that simpler? Do your arms feel lighter or more integrated? And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. So this is a great lesson for learning how to integrate and connect your feet to your hands, your shoulders to your hips, so to cross the center of your body and really powerfully use the center of your body in a really unique way. Great lesson for learning how to use your shoulders differently as well. So leave me a note down below, let me know what you think, and if you have any comments, feel free to fire away. Have a great night, take care.